Hello there, and hello to you too. Vlogging with Gibsters, I'm back here for another episode of the redesigns of my Pokemon from the Goidia region. In the last episode, we, of course, not we, because I redesigned them and then showed you after, the Arpectos line, the grass starter of the region. And as you can see here, also part electric type. Now you guys can check out the rest of them on that video, because now, as you guys can probably see there, it's the fire starter's turn, which you guys would probably recognise Goidia as the fire starter, but you won't recognise its new design. Without further ado, let's move on. Oh yeah, check out that other video, because this is the only member of that line you're going to get to see the redesign of. Now, here is Goidia, the new redesigned fire starter of the region, and just like Arpectos, how it used to be based on Zeus, but then it got changed to be based on the demigod children of Zeus, mainly being Thalia Grace, and there was another one, and Perseus, that was it, and Thalia Grace and Perseus from Greek mythology, of course Thalia being from Percy Jackson, and of course there's another one here that we have more noticeable in here being, it really shows Percy Jackson, Nico D'Angelo. Of course, not actually Percy Jackson, but I'm saying like it's from the Percy Jackson series. Nico D'Angelo, which is a demigod child of Zeus, not Zeus, Hades from that. And of course, this being fire type, I've changed this from being actual fire to being a translucent glowing tail. Makes it look like fire. Now, the skull on Croxatox just sort of appears from nowhere. So I have it evolve from this tiny emblem here. And it will later evolve into looking like a skull. Now, I really didn't like the way I did the head in the last one, so I changed it. The only thing I kept was the fact that it's clearly going to be a goat's head, and the colours of the head as well. Right, so now we move on to the next one, which is Raichi. Now, Raichi is of course the evolution to it. I changed the way the cracks look because I really didn't like them. I also had the colours more faded so that it doesn't seem out of the blue that he becomes just all grey, just shades of grey, so the orange is now a bit greyed out. Same thing with the reds there, however, there will still be greyed out red on the new Croxatox, and of course, the skull is still evolving there. And I added a fur coat, because I wanted to add a fur coat. I also changed the hairstyle to be a mix of Nico D'Angelo, the other demigod reference being Zagreus. Now, he was either made for, like, a game, or he's from actual Greek mythology. Point is, I picked him. And that is also why he has one red eye and one blue eye. Now, the last thing here that I've changed is the symbol on his forehead is now, well, bigger, and it's completely different. I looked up Greek symbols for Hades, changed it up a bit, and this is what I got. And I didn't mix and match it, I just changed up the way it was drawn a bit. Right. Now on to the last one, of course, being Croxatox. Now, of course, the symbol is now blue. And I have still kept this spiritual fire. Now, I've actually given him ears this time, because I forgot to when I was originally designing the first draft of Croxatox. Then the redesigned version didn't have it, but now this new redesigned version has his ears. Also changed the horns to make him look more menacing, and of course, again, the cracks are thicker, and his eyes are turquoise, but I've still kept the red and blue flowing in, just like a glowing thing there. I've also kept the fur coat, and also have the skull, a full skull emblem, of course, coming from Nico D'Angelo, And the robes, which he had on the original one, look more like the ones that Zagreus has, as well as the skull on his shoulder. I find it weird how when I did Ezraichi, I just had it that his shoulder fur looks like heads, as a reference to Cerberus, which is the dog pet of Hades. But since I'm already going to have another 3-stage line, which is literally just Cerberus, then I thought since Zagreus has a skull on his shoulder, well, of an actual dog, but I changed it to a goat. Well, something that looks like a goat. It was actually on Ezraichi. And anyway, I sort of kept the tail the same as well. Spiritual-like. And then I changed the way the powers are as well. So in the first draft, he could set his hands on fire. And then in a redesigned version, he could layer lava on his skin. But that is changed now, where he can do both. He can set his body ablaze like the Human Torch, or cover himself in lava. And if he does that, he has options. He has this option here, where it's lava with rocks on it. Now you may think, oh, this is cool, but that isn't really the best option to go with. It is the best option when you're starting out an attack. However, when you go to the final strike, he can switch it to 2 modes. He can cool it down and fully turn it into rock, and that deals more damage. Or he can heat it up enough that it all turns into lava, which will do burn damage, however, won't do the physical damage. Like, it won't give the opponent a concussion, whereas the cooldown version won't burn them. And of course, in the rock one, he can't move. Like, he can't move his fingers. He'd just be stuck in the flexing pose that he has there. Because, like, since it's to there, he wouldn't be able to move his arm upwards like that. He'd just be stuck like that. And then also just added a tube there that, like, fire could come bursting out of to accelerate his punch. And yeah, guys, that has been the Goidia line redesign. And it's been a great time going over this with you guys, so I'll see you all next time.